Hoy reunimos a un destacado grupo de expertos sobre Ucrania para discutir cuál es el papel y la situación de Ucrania no solo a nivel interno, sino también a nivel geopolítico, a nivel de sus relaciones con la Unión Europea.
De vez en cuando también hemos de mirar un poco más lejos, y lo que se juega o nos jugamos todos en Ucrania es mucho, y por lo tanto es un tema que nos interesa poner en la agenda también aquí en España. Por lo tanto, tanto CIDOB como la representación de la Comisión Europea, la Friedrich-Ebert-Foundation y naturalmente la Bertelsmann Stiftung junto con nosotros pues pone en marcha este tipo de iniciativas que creo que van a redundar en beneficio de todos.
La necesidad de estos espacios para el diálogo y la reflexión.
Todos debemos hacer una seria reflexión y autocrítica. ¿Qué ocurrió hace 5 años en Ucrania? ¿Cómo la Unión Europea ha intentado hacer frente a este desafío geopolítico? ¿Y qué podemos hacer para intentar que Ucrania tenga en el contexto europeo los mismos derechos que todos los demás países?
Ukraine is right now at the core of the European security challenges.
We think that there is a link between the reforms in Ukraine and the European and other international support. Because what is underway in Ukraine is an unprecedented level and speed of reforms across a whole range of areas. And similarly, the EU support to the country is at an unprecedented levels. We have, since 2014, released about 15 billion euro, mainly in loans, but together with member states, also significant additional funds for changes in projects. And with this, you see that in the areas where we are active, change is coming through.
Good prospects for the rule of law are essential for Ukraine's further European integration. It is excellent news that there is finally a Prosecutor General, and he seems to be interested and serious about transforming the General Prosecutor's Office into an institution of integrity.
The main obstacle to judiciary of integrity is old corrupt judicial system. What I mean is that corrupt judicial system tends to recreate itself by old judges appointing tainted successors. Our approach to changing that is relaunching the bodies of judicial selection and involving international experts in that. We are building on successful creation of anti-corruption court from scratch. So hopefully in 2 months we will have new bodies of judicial selection made out of people with unquestionable integrity. They will select unquestionable successors, and only after that will we be able to move forward to implementing European standards of selecting judges by judges.
For Ukraine economy to grow. First of all, it's macroeconomic and political stability. The second one is justice and equal rules for the whole economy. The third one is money coming back to Ukraine through foreign investments or local investments. And number 4, because we're actually struggling of human resource absence, our people is moving to other countries, as particular people who are professional. So we need to develop our human resource heavily.
President Zelensky and his team received a huge credit of trust from the society during the last elections. Simultaneously, this is a very big responsibility which bears the risks, but also it is a unique chance for all of their pledges to be fully implemented, which none of the political teams ever had in the history of Ukraine.
I think European Union could do many things actually when it comes to the Russian-Ukrainian conflict in eastern Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky actually stimulated the revival of the Minsk process, but we should take into account that only the Ukrainian side so far made concessions. For example, he recommitted to elections and to the giving of a particular status for the occupied territories. That is the end of the process, but what we need, and here it comes to the Russian role, we need sustainable security to implement these very complicated political measures. So in my view, European Union should wait with lifting of the sanctions until the end of the Minsk process.
Ukraine lives through really historic changes this year. We found ourselves in a unique momentum with new political class and a reform-minded cabinet of ministers who are committed to changes. There are huge mandate from the people to deliver.
Ukraine is a good example that everything is possible, as Zelensky said after the victory in these presidential elections this year. The Kremlin hasn't any interest to disengage from Ukraine. There are several reasons. The main reason is that this is a good field for the irritation of the West, for the continuation of different games around the Donbass, for different trade with the West on this ground of hybrid war with Donbass. So the situation is extremely contradictory. On the one hand, Kremlin has to support these territories socially and economically. On the other hand, Kremlin doesn't want to stop the story. The desire is to freeze the conflict in order to continue this political game with the West.
The problem is that with the geopolitical situation and with Ukraine's domestic situation, it's very hard to expect that Ukraine will change profoundly in 5 years or even 10 years. And under the current geopolitical and security pressure, these things undermine Ukraine's chances and Ukraine's ability to focus on the transformation and on the change. But I think there are enough forces in Ukraine to continue the drive for further transformation.